Let's welcome in our first guest on Chalk Talk Social today. We got Zeb Long. Zeb is a Carolina Panthers fan. We got to talk some Panthers football. They got some stuff going on. They're winning games. They got a running back thing going on. But Zeb, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Best I've been in years, to be honest with you.
As a Panthers fan?
As a Panthers fan and life in general, but yeah, dude, feeling good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy we're here talking Panthers. No one talks Panthers football, and probably reasons for it. They got 4 wins this season, which is I feel like more than they get in most seasons.
It is.
And so they're off to a good start. So it's like, let's talk some Panthers. And obviously, I saw some of your TikToks, man. You got some funny content out there. You can give a shout out to the channel when we're wrapping up. But
yes, sir.
Talk to me first about your Panthers fandom experience, the fact that you've made it this long.
Yeah, it's been, that's one of the funny things about being a Panthers fan is that we are forgotten a lot of the time, right? But if you look back, even in recent history, of course, the NFL has, I feel like, a very short-term memory. But, man, there were many years where the NFC South ran through Charlotte. The Cam years before that, we had Steve Smith, Julius Peppers, we've had a lot of success, but our lows have been very, very low. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Small market as well. We just tend to get overlooked, right? But I absolutely love the Carolina Panthers. Have my whole life. I'm from North Carolina. I live in Southern California now, so that's a whole interesting side of it. Trying to talk Panthers out here is interesting. But yeah, man, I've been there through the ups and yeah, a little bit. It's funny though, there a lot of times they're pretty nice to you, right? Because there's not much rivalry there. Yeah. But yeah, they're interested. They ask the same question, man. They're like, "How have you hung around this long?" And it's the people that love them, man. They absolutely love them. There is a huge fan base there that truly cares. So proud to be part of it.
They got sick colors, sick logos, so always got that going for them. And you were talking about some of the legends back in the day, people forget about the Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams backfield combo, and just, man, was that nice. The true OG power or lightning and thunder kind of combo.
Yeah.
But speaking of, they kind of got a good thing going in the backfield right now. It took for Hubbard to get hurt for Rico Dowdle to start flashing. Granted, not against the best defenses, but off, he was averaging almost 6 yards of carries those first 2 games. How we feel about this backfield?
It was crazy, man. He looked like the best running back in the league there for a little while. And even last week he looked good, right? And there is, it's a very interesting debate. There's a lot of drama going around, not even just Panthers fans. Obviously there's a whole fantasy football aspect to it that stirred up a lot of stuff. But, what a great problem to have, first of all, right? Two guys that you trust, love to see out there, making stuff happen. They're 2 different guys, but I'll give my stance on it. And I think a lot of people, like I said, are disagreeing on it. But personally, when I watch Rico, I feel like he's a very rhythm guy, right? He wears down a defense. He's the guy that can kind of take over a game. I don't love the 50-50 splitting every drive thing. I think it works. It works for the Lions, for example. They're able to pull it off. But watching them against the Jets, I just wanted them to leave Rico in there and just be like, man, take this game over. He finishes every run, wears the defense down. I was just ready to see him get a little more time. I'm thinking 60-40 would work. But I don't like splitting drives, man. I like seeing if a guy can get some momentum and take a game over.
Yeah,
you know
the hot hand. Yeah, the hot hand. I love the hot hand approach. So we actually had a conversation the other day on the show about Rico and Hubbard. People are saying hey, but Hubbard had a really good year last year. I was I get that. I think he finished 8th in yards in rushing yards last year. Mm-hmm. He had nice games. He's got nice moments. He makes nice plays. My thing was he's not Saquon. He's not Prime Henry. He's not that echelon of football player to where if a guy comes in and starts just having league best yards per carry, freaking 400 something yards in 2 games, how do you put a back seat on that guy for the time being? Like you said, the momentum guy, the hot hand guy. So I was almost I feel like they might have a good 1-2 thing going, but I think it could go 1 week it's Hubbard 70%, next week it's Rico, just whatever. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Some people are saying online they're gonna mess it up somehow.
Oh man, we'll find a way to mess it up. And I felt like we messed it up last week. I felt it just didn't feel. It felt goofy to me watching them dedicate a whole drive to one, dedicate a whole another drive to another. I think they need to just mix them in and see who gets hot.
I love it. But what about the guy in front of him? Y'all been kind of trying to build the receiver core a little bit with Xavier Leggett. He's a goof, but he just had a huge game finally, turning some targets into receptions. Jalen Coker's back, and he looked really nice last year. Obviously, you got Tet doing his thing, and you got Bryce Miller throwing him the ball. How we feel about Bryce Miller? Hey, Bryce Miller, better stats than CJ Stroud lately.
Dude, that is one of the funny conversations too, man, is that like watching CJ on Monday Night Football, I was sitting there like, man, dude, like that conversation is kind of gone out the window. Everybody, wanted to compare apples to apples. Number one, I mean, CJ came into a much better situation, much better defense, much better everything, right? Like everything was kind of set up for him to have a great year that first year. But Bryce, that wasn't exactly the case, man. And I've been a little bit full transparency. My friends, if they see this, I can't get it by them. I've been a little bit of a Bryce hater. I can't lie.
Okay.
So personally, in my opinion, I never got the vibe that he is that guy that could completely take a ball game over if you need him to, right? Like you watch those games, like you watch Sunday Night Football, you got Josh Allen out there completely taking a ball game over. Lamar Jackson, same way. Pat Mahomes, obviously. But like, when you talk about a number one draft pick, you talk about that guy who you're going to trust to get your franchise, like the Panthers, a small market team, to that next level. If you're talking Super Bowls and talking NFC championships, like I just never got that vibe that Bryce was going to be that guy. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to change my mind a little bit. I'm seeing what like Nick Saban said. He's kind of a distributor, right? If you put the guys around Bryce, and you got a good run game, he can use some play action, he can kind of scramble around and make stuff happen. I'm starting to see there's a path to where, okay, we might be working with something, but I want to see him play in some big games. I want to see him play in some big moments, like other than just 1:00 Sunday. Like, all right, we're playing the Dolphins. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, how much does he elevate that offense? Would they be much worse without him? And you plug in Jacoby Brissett, who's balling out for Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, does the offense change that much? I think the nice thing about Bryce Young, at least this season, is he's been creating a lot of plays. Like after avoiding a sack, I was kind of reading over something where his mobility has set them up for a lot of like outer structure stuff. He's avoiding and he's creating a play, and he's actually been one of the most efficient quarterbacks in creating a play after a sack this year.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's taking the baby steps. And like when you say that too, it makes me think of like Brock Purdy, right?
Yeah.
With the Avengers. How good was that team with any quarterback, right?
Right.
Brock Purdy does nice things, don't get me wrong, but he does not elevate that offense to the extent that he should have got the money that he got type of thing.
I was wondering that too.
Aged like milk sitting outside for a while.
Yep.
So, I mean, Bryce Young, and again, he's kind of in that small quarterback like bucket, and we're kind of seeing it going away. Like Russell Wilson's gone. Bryce Young? Kyler Murray, he might be out of a job. He might be.
Yeah, what happened there, man? I used to love Kyler. I really am shocked that never went anywhere further than it did. I love that guy. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like everybody always made that Drew Brees comp with Bryce. They were like, oh, well, Drew Brees was 5'9" or 5'10" or whatever. I'm like, dude, do you know how many times I watched Drew Brees throw for 400 yards, slinging it around the Superdome? Like, you let me know when Bryce starts doing that. Like, don't get me wrong. I love him. I'm happy with what he's doing. But let me know when he's slinging it around like that. We'll start having a big conversation.
One's a pretty clear first ballot Hall of Famer. Pretty not too far into his career. It's like, all right, this guy's got the juice.
There you go.
Look, speaking of juice, the Panthers still got some juice. The defense has been pretty good. I think they've been pretty stingy in terms of like success rate allowed against them. They're like top 5 in terms of like teams are not successful against that defense often. I know the past defense has been kind of stingy, but you got 4 wins. You're one of they're in the top half of football right now.
In playoff contention.
And like things you would never think of that. Literally in playoff contention. The Bucks are probably going to win that division.
They will, yeah.
They'll win it. But like the Panthers are very real in terms of wild card talk. So I'm curious to get your take. Like, what do you do at the deadline then? Are you going all in? You selling? What are we doing?
Man, I was thinking about this week because it's almost like I don't know if I feel like it's a good idea to start throwing picks away or anything, just because, all right, you look at this year, we're building something. We've got a culture getting built. We've got some young guys coming up. Like, people are starting to mesh. Like, okay, is it time to throw away picks and try to bring in like a high-end pass rusher or edge rusher or whatever, or sneak in a good tight end or receiver? I just think we need to build on what we got. I love what Dan Morgan and them do in the draft. I think they really, have some stuff dialed in there. I would rather see, let's build on what we got here and set up for next year and keep things rolling and build the momentum. Now, that being said, I wouldn't mind seeing them chase down an edge rusher from Miami, but
hey, guys,
we'll see.
I mean, imagine like signing a Brian Burns type of player to your team.
Oh,
imagine
I know.
What if that option was available?
Would love it, dude. What if, right?
It would be crazy.
I saw somebody was rumoring, what's his name? Bradley Chubb. They were tossing that name around a little bit. He went to school in North Carolina too. I thought that was like kind of an interesting move. But yeah, man. Let's see what they do with the picks. Let's just keep building.
You say like at most go get a pass rusher, otherwise like stay steady.
I think if we can go get an edge rusher, that would be nice, but I'd rather see what they do in the draft, man. Let's keep building this thing.
Okay, then I guess if you do nothing, what do you think is the part that's going to be the demise? Then, if one thing's going to knock the Panthers out, it's going to be X.
Oh man, I really think it's going to be not figuring out that backfield. To be honest with you, I think there's an attitude thing around that. Like, Mark Schlereth, the guy who was announcing the Jets game, was talking about it a little bit. He's like, man, if you just take away a job from a guy that's gone out there and played better than anybody in the NFL, like that not everybody in the locker room is going to love that. That's my one concern. If they fumble it, which I don't know the right answer, right? Dave Canales has got a big task on his hands figuring that out. But, yeah, I think that could really do some damage if they go about that the wrong way.
It almost seems like a good problem to have. You got two.
Hubbard
Hubbard
one of them will figure it out.
Yeah, Hubbard hasn't been that efficient this year. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Canales is the guy at least?
I do, man. I'm starting to really come around on him a lot. I love and you think about some of the stuff he's dealt with in his first couple years or whatever. So like, number one, you got probably one of the craziest owners in the NFL throwing drinks on people in Jacksonville, right? Like, you got that going on. I don't know. He might not have been there for that, but still, that still happened. Still a crazy owner you got to deal with. You got Bryce. You got people trying to figure out if he's the guy. You had to sit him last year, all that mess. Now you got everybody in the NFL looking at the decision you're making on these running backs. Like, he's had a lot going on, and he's held strong. He seems to be like a good face for the franchise, man. He's a good looking guy too. Like, dude, like he's absolute stud, doing well in Charlotte. He's got a lot going for him, man. So I'm happy with him. I think we should stick with it.
All right, I love it. Well, Zed, it was great chatting with you. Good talking Panthers. I mean,
yes, sir.
I know I found you on TikTok. Why don't you just tell the folks like what your page is about and where they can find you?
Absolutely, man. So it's Zeb Long, ZEBLONG NC on TikTok. So really just kind of funny sports stuff, kind of focused around football. I try to kind of, take trends that may be going around on TikTok, focus it on football, just random lifestyle stuff if I find something I think is funny, but just trying to make people laugh and, put some stuff out there and see what happens,
Well, it's how we got this far. I liked it. Yeah. I was laughing. I was like, all right, we got to talk Panthers football.
Anytime, my friend. We'll see. If we make a run, we'll do it again.
I was going to say, come into the season, we have to pick this one back up and see where we're at with it. But good talking to you, man. I appreciate you coming on.
You too, Austin. Have a good one, brother.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.